The bigger the fear, the bigger the blessing. The bigger the fear, the bigger the win. No risk, no reward.
I want to change lives. I want to show people how to progress in their money. I want to show people how to progress in their mindset. I want to show people how to progress in their brand, so that way they can take care of their family, take care of their finances, and experience freedom.
So now, so far, we understand what is fear, and we understand how to overcome it. We're going to use and, then we're going to use but did I die? Then we're also going to do the equation of looking at the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. If the worst case scenario does not involve death, your answer to but did I die is a no. And we look at the best case scenario. If the best case scenario is possible, take action with the best case scenario, and take action, not only just take action, but take action fast. So now, how do we understand that fear is a direction? You see, fear, when I say fear, this is a spiritual understanding. I'm a God-fearing man, and this is a spiritual understanding that on the other side of fear is the blessing that I was looking for in the first place. I want you to think back to any time that you experienced a tremendous amount of success. I want you to think back to a time that you experienced a true blessing. Actually, we're going to do an exercise here, okay? And on this exercise, I'd like you to pause this video. But before you pause this video, what I would like you to do for the exercise is that I want you to write down 10 blessings or 10 wins that you have experienced in the last 2 years. This could be a new relationship. This could be a new client. This could be a new business win. This could be a new family win, like you got your son or your child into the right school. This could be a personal win, like you lost some weight. This could be a business venture that you took action on. This could be a new relationship that you created. I want you to think about something that is a win for you in your life. 10. And I want you to pause this video. So now, by now, you have 10. We're on the same page, right? We have 10 wins or 10 blessings on your page right now. Now, as you look at these 10 wins or these 10 blessings that you have received, what I'd like you to do is reverse engineer, meaning look at the result, which is, hey, I lost weight. Hey, I got my child in a certain school. Hey, I got a new job. Whatever your blessings or your wins were, very simple. We don't have to go too in depth on this. I want you to think about how you got there, like the different steps that it took to get there. What you're going to find that is common between all of these steps is that at some point you made a decision to overcome a certain amount of fear. So when I say fear is a direction, what I'm sharing with you is that if you're right here and there's a huge mountain of fear, by you making the decision to press forward and overcome this fear, on the other side is the blessing that you've been looking for, the blessing that you've been asking for. Okay? I'll give you an example. I'll give you a true example. Just yesterday, I was driving in my car, and to my right was my girlfriend in the passenger seat. And she said, hey, Andy, I love our life. I love the experience that we're having together. I love building this business. I love what we're creating. And she shared the impact that it had in her life. And as I looked at her, I said, I love you so much, and I want to thank you for being in my life. As I look at to how we got to this stage in our relationship, she shared with me, Andy, you remember how we met? I said, yeah, I remember how we met. She actually came to one of my seminars. She came to one of my biggest seminars that I hosted a couple of years ago. So I'm in Los Angeles pushing to host a seminar. Now, to get to the seminar, to host the seminar, she was part of an audience of about 300 people. And I had a certain group of speakers that were very highly successful. To get these speakers, I had to sign a contract that I would pay a large sum of money. To get the audience there, I had to agree to pay a large sum of money, which I didn't even have at the time. I had to go and find the resources to get the money. I was scared. I was nervous. I was fearful to even sign this. But I signed the contract and I moved forward. I promoted the event and I did it scared and I did it fearfully anyways. And once I accomplished that and I experienced the fear, on the other side, after a few months of hard work, experiencing the fear probably on a daily basis, on the other end was a successful seminar. And at the end of my seminar, what came out on the other side, at the end of my seminar, I met an attendee who happened to ended up being my girlfriend, and we built a long relationship. So the blessing for me was my girlfriend, and of course, we changed lives. Of course, there was income generated. Of course, there was new relationships. But still to this day, although that event happened many years ago, still to this day, I'm experiencing the blessings and the rewards of that decision of overcoming fear. So think about it in your life. What have you overcome, and what was the wins on the other side? So if we recognize that to be true, that on the other side of fear, there is a blessing and the win specifically for us, the bigger the fear, the bigger the blessing. The bigger the fear, the bigger the win. No risk, no reward. We all understand that. No risk, no reward. So if you take a small amount of risk, expect a small amount of reward. If you take a big amount of risk, expect a big amount of reward. So what goes around comes around. So if we put out small fear fires, let's use that. If we put out small fear fires, on the other side, small rewards. So how do you experience big in business? How do you experience big in life? Recognize it's taking that first step and triumphing a certain fear that is holding us back. You see, the blessings is on the other side of that fear. The blessings is on the other side of that fear. The blessings is on the other side of the fear. You know, in high school and middle school, when they tell you, when the teacher repeats something multiple times, write it down. Write it down. The blessing is on the other side of the fear. So in order for you to win, in order for you to expand, in order for you to experience something new, you're going to see an opportunity to get bigger. You're going to see an opportunity to generate income. You're going to see an opportunity to make change. And you are either going to have one or two options. One option is the worst case scenario and believing. Remember, fear is a form of belief. Believing in the worst case scenario and not taking the decision. Or on the other side, seeing that there is a benefit, seeing that there is a win, seeing the blessings, and taking action based off what's available for us, what's possible for us, versus the worst case scenario. So on the other side of fear is your blessing. On the other side of fear is your reward. Specifically, what you're looking for is on the other side of fear. Now, we all have fear. The most successful businessmen in the world experience a tremendous amount of fear. But the reason you can see the top CEO that manages 5,000 employees and the top successful businessman, why they get paid so much is because they make decisions despite fear. I want to give you an example. I want to give you a true example. The CEOs who make $1 million or $2 million plus a year, the reason they're in that seat, the reason they're in that position is because they can make quick decisions in a short period of time, despite what they're feeling, despite the emotion, the unpleasant emotion that they may be having. So, true story. If someone walks in, true story, we had an assistant walk into a CEO's office. I was there. Assistant walks into the CEO office and says, "Hey, there's a location. I'm not going to tell you the business, but there's a location that is on fire. There's a location that is on fire. Do we evacuate the rest of the company in that specific area? Do we evacuate them to protect them, or do we keep them working?" Now, this CEO had to look at the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that the other people who are at potential harm are taken care of and they're fine. Worst case scenario is that people die and people perish. So this CEO has to make a quick decision like, hey, what do we do? So if someone was procrastinating on that decision, they may say, okay, well, if we take them out of work, it's going to affect our income and we're going to lose a lot of money. Well, what do we do? So the CEO then makes a decision to evacuate everyone in a short period of time. So what I share with you is the idea of procrastinating could affect people. It could affect people on the other side. But most importantly, it could also affect you and the people that are depending on you to be successful. So we can't procrastinate at a high level. So you need to be able to make large decisions, big decisions, wide decisions in a short period of time. Now, before you are able to make decisions for other people, you got to be able to make big decisions for yourself and for your life and the immediate people around you, your family, your kids, your husband, your wife. And what does it take? It takes you having a process. It takes you having a system to overcome. And most importantly, understand that fear is a direction. I would like you to read any biography of any of the top successful business owners. And as you read their biography, and now you don't even have to, nowadays you don't even have to buy a book. You can actually just listen to it on Audible, audible.com, audible.com. You can just listen to the book. And as you listen to people's biographies, successful biographies of people who are truly successful, you'll see in each and every single person's life, there comes a point where they have to make tough decisions. And it's those tough decisions that once they make them, that's why they were at a position to get a book written about them, because they created so much success. Remember, on the other side of fear is your blessing. On the other side of fear is your reward. On the other side of fear is exactly what you're looking for. But if you're right here and your success is over there, this mountain of fear that you have to overcome is what's in between what you want for yourself and what you want for your family and what you want for your clients. So in order for you to experience the true success that you're looking for, the true success that you're looking to create, what you need to have is the wherewithal, the wit, the hunger to make a decision based on the best case scenario, not the worst case scenario, based on the best case scenario, and overcome any fear. Because fear is an opposition. Fear is something that will hold you back from experiencing the blessings and the reward. But I want you to understand that fear is something that is made up. It's a made up belief. It's not real. It is not real. It's like waking up from a bad dream. And your bad dream could be, oh my gosh, there's the house is being flooded right now. And as soon as you get off the bed, and you're sleeping, as soon as you get off the bed, and you put your foot down on the floor, there's going to be a huge puddle. And you look at the floor, and there isn't. Fear is something that's made up. It's not real. So make a decision, not based on fear, but based on the belief that success is right around the corner.